Whoa. Landing an account this big will totally change my landscaping business. It's going to mean hiring more guys and more equipment and new trucks for the new guys to drive the new equipment in. I don't know if I'm ready.
You can do this, and Ford Pro FinSimple can help. Our experts are ready to make growing pains less painful for your business with flexible financing solutions that meet the needs of your business today when you need them. Get started at fordpro.com/financing.
Welcome, Sauce. Did we just speak? We just spoke like 2 hours.
I think so, and I think what we did for the first time ever was that you officially attended my podcast forever of Remember God Loves You and I'll Meet You at the Finish Line podcast. We talked about a wide variety of subjects.
I'm telling you, I've gotten to know you on a digital type of scenario since like January, February of this year, and I have not yet become the official member of Remember God Loves You and I'll Meet You at the Finish Line guest list. And I had the opportunity, ladies and gentlemen, to actually speak to Sauce roughly about 2 hours ago.
Yep.
But it would be 2 hours ago Central Time on his respected time zone. And guys, today I want to have Sauce here on the panel here on the show. We're going to talk about road rage and why it's important, guys. But before we get into it, guys, I got to get into a quick sponsor here on the show, Live Rishi, guys. Literally, I've been getting questions after questions like, what the hell is this company, Mike? You keep on announcing it. Well, I'm going to tell you right now, guys, Live Rishi is a CBD oil company, guys, and they specialize in CBD hemp oil, okay? And they're a great company. They don't have any type of cancerous ingredients in the products at all, and it's really good for your skin. We use it here on the show, and I can't tell you enough for them. They're a great company, and they've been basically supporting and sponsoring our show for the last 3 months. So thank you, liverishi.com. Head over there today, guys. Hit that promo code Savaged Unfiltered for 20% off your entire order, and mention you heard it on the show. Guys, we'll be right back after these short words. Don't touch the dial.
For the cops to get. Okay, and I won't. So it's all right. You can get away from my car. As you understand, the cops are on their way. So that's fine. Continue.
I'm trying to understand. Help me understand.
It's a public street.
You see, it's cones in this lane. The lane is ended. She wants me to stop. She wants me to stop and let her keep going. No, I have to get over because the lane is ending.
I promise you I'm okay. 911 has already been called.
You can go back to your car when you get beat. That's what's going to happen next.
I'll wait. I'm okay with that if you're okay with it. Okay, that's what I thought.
Savaged Unfiltered. All right, guys, welcome back to the show. Welcome, guys. I don't know if you guys just heard that sound clip here. We plugged into the show. We're talking about some road rage today on the show. Why is it affecting today's society? I can tell you right now, it is becoming a problem, Sauce. And, you and I had spoke about this just actually yesterday when I brought up the idea for the title of today's bonus episode on the Savage Brief. Road rage, and why is it becoming an issue here in today's society of America? And I don't know about you, Sauce, but the damn traffic and the damn road rage here in the state of Florida is becoming an issue. Is it becoming an issue up there in Wisconsin at all, or what do you see?
Well, so you want the sad part is, so I live in Madison, so that's in that's in Wisconsin, and the sad part is that the road rage in Madison is absolutely awful. We had this one guy that did a bumped his fender, and then he literally came out with a bat and started swinging at the car that hit him and stuff, and shattered his window and just beat the guy to a pulp. Yeah, it's like, I'm like, are we in the Wild West or what? And then
Cowboys and Indians gone wild, right?
yeah, and then here's another thing, okay? So if you're on the east side of Madison, okay, you're by the Easttown Mall. All right, this one guy accidentally cut this guy off, and so then what happened was this guy pulled over, and these two guys pulled over, and then he pulled out his handgun and shot at the driver that shot the driver in the driver's window and stuff, and then just drove off. So you want to talk about bad road rage? That was awful. I'm like, I was scared to death. I'm like, I hope nobody else has a gun that's going to come out and shoot me. I hope I'm being a safe driver or what.
Sauce, I think it comes down to the damn mental illness in this country. I mean, we're reaching historic highs with it, and the people are just like they're out of control. They're nuts. I seen just for an example today on my way back to home. I'm tongue twisting. I'm 1,000 different things today, but on my way back to home today, guys, back to the house, I'm seeing these two jackal heads. And that's what I call people today. They're jackalheads. They're nuts. They're idiots. They don't know when to calm down. They're always up at each other's faces and everything. Well, we're at the traffic light, and there's a gentleman on a motorcycle and a woman, and it was like a Honda Civic or something, and he's trying to get into the other lane. Obviously he's not from around here. He was on a motorcycle. It had Florida plates, though, but he could have been, from North Florida or South Florida. You never know. You just didn't know the area. And when you're on a motorcycle, it makes it 10 times harder because you can't just pull out the damn GPS. Motorcycles are not equipped that way like cars. And he's trying to get into the left lane because in the state of Florida, Sauce, I don't know if you're familiar with our roadways here. You're allowed to make a left-hand turn at the traffic light.
I did not know that.
Yeah, I did not know that either. I mean, I'm from the Northeast. I'm from New York, New Jersey area, and up there we had actually what we called U-turns or jug handles. And to get across the other side of the road, you would have to go around this jug handle. Well, I'm watching this guy try to he's looking at the woman. He's trying to make eye contact with her. He has his blinker on. He's trying to get in the left-hand turning lane. And she's like edging in, she's edging in. It's a stoplight, they're like literally right there at the line. And she keeps on edging in. So he can't get in, and he can't beep the horn. Motorcycles don't have horns. Not the ones I haven't seen a motorcycle yet with a horn. And he's trying to edge in. And this woman is literally I'm going to say it, guys. She's literally being a bitch, she's being that uncourtesy type of driver. And she's not letting the motorcycle guy get in, and he's hollering, screaming. I mean, you could hear it, and I'm like, the rage perfect example of road rage today, Sauce. It's out of control.
Yeah. And the thing that I don't like when drivers, okay, so when you pass a driver and they shine your brights at you directly, I'm like, are you serious? And it's like, that bothers me so much. And especially if you live in the city, they're trying to race you. We had a car the other day that was trying to race me to the next stoplight. All right.
Oh, wow.
And I'm like, in my head, I'm like, dude, why are you trying to race me? Like, are you in a rush? We're going to be at the same stoplight. And then what happens is that apparently I beat him to the stoplight, and then he pulled up to me and gave me the middle finger and was yelling, and his face was red with veins popping out. And I'm like, yeah. Dude, I'm like, are you? And I'm like, in my head, I just looked straight because I don't know what he's going to come out with, because Madison, you don't know what's going to come out of these vehicles, either heroin or Joe Biden. I don't know.
Really? It's gone that bad there in that part of Wisconsin?
It's absolutely awful. Yeah.
Jeez. I mean, I looked at the pictures, Sauce, and Madison looks like a peaceful little, historic little downtown area. It looks beautiful on pictures, but I mean, you can't always judge a book by its cover.
No, well, the only time that they take a picture of it is when it's in broad daylight. Well, not broad daylight, but when times are not so busy. And then they also take parts. They also take parts where they're filming, if they're going to start filming in Madison, for movies and stuff or TV shows. They cut that part of Madison out, and they do it on the good end. So they do it on the rich end of Madison.
Good grief, man.
They don't do it downtown, but the sad part is that we have, it's not just Madison, but like you have, and then people are like, for instance, couple last year, this past Christmas, I was driving and my car got ripped off by a side review mirror and ripped off my whole review mirror and ripped off, like did some damage on my car. And then you expect a person to like stop, ask for insurance and stuff. No, he ripped off 2 other vehicles in back of me that was at a stoplight. And then what did he have to do? He went and so what happened was that he was such in a rush to get to the next stoplight. And that next stoplight, the only reason why he stopped at that next stoplight was because there was a police officer, not one but 4.
Yeah. He didn't want the ticket or the citation. Yeah.
Well, he got what you expect, and then we called the 911 dispatch, and then here's what the other 4 people, the other groups of vehicles were. So with the road rage, no one's getting held accountable. Not even the police officers don't even want to deal with it. So what happened was we called the 911 dispatch center, and a car behind me did too, and we got the same response. So here's what the dispatch said. Hey, 911, how can we help you? I'm like, hey, my car just got hit. And it was like in the case of a road rage, it was a road rage incident. They're like, well, we can send out a person to talk about your feelings. I mean, because we don't have enough funding to like talk about, like, we don't have enough funding to go after that vehicle that caused damage.
They don't have enough funding.
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
And so what happened was that they sent out an equality police to make sure that if there are people of color or if there are people that were identified themselves as LGBTQ, which the third car behind us identified as LGBTQ, he identified himself as a transgender, non-binary, pansexual individual. And so then they made sure that he was okay. And then they took him to the hospital, and then he was all taken care of, and his car was taken care of too. While the 2 people in front of us, like my car and the car behind me, we had to deal with this stupid insurance.
Wait, you just called them quality police. Is that a term that is that a Sosslin term, or is that actually a term that they use there?
No, that's actually that says on their police car. It's called the Equality Police, and that's
equality. I thought you said quality. Okay,
equality. And those equality police cars have. Those equality police cars have like the rainbow flag, and that says that.
I was just about to say they have the flag, right, Draper, down on the side or something.
Yep, and then they also have, and they cannot make arrests, but they make sure that they go after, like, they make sure that the people of minority are okay before they go after anybody else. So because we defunded our city police, so we don't have city police. So instead of that, they put equality police, and I'm like, so you're not going to catch after anybody. And
so they actually did defund it then, right?
Yeah. So you have people. That's what's like the Wild West in Madison.
That's such a shame, man.
Yeah, and then it's funny because the Madison news station, they did a special episode, Road Rage in Madison, and why no one's being held accountable for damages to bumpers, damages to anything. I'm like, and then it's funny because they interviewed people on the street and they had to cut the thing short. And the guy's like, well, you know how you solve road rage? You fund the police. You get the city police back together, and you start sitting at these stoplights. You show a presence to yourself, and then it'll solve the problem. You won't have people coming out and shooting out people on the east side of Madison. West side of Madison, you won't have people going out with baseball bats and damaging other vehicles. No, if you show a presence, that'll solve the problem.
It's terrible now what we see. I mean, the road rage, like I said, in this country has gone. It's out of control. It really is. It's spinning out of control. And you mentioned equality police. I've never heard that term, or at least it hasn't been brought here to Florida. Even when I was
brought to Florida.
What's that?
It won't be. None of our policies won't be brought to Florida because Florida literally bleeds red, white, and blue. You guys are the freedom state, and that's why I'm so jealous, because you guys have rarely any road rage. In Wisconsin, it's the Wild West. So it's like I feel like I should get a horse-drawn carriage and start. I need a horse-drawn carriage to go down Madison now, because I feel like, all right, Pa, Ma, let's go in the horse-drawn carriage and see what kind of excitement we have.
Yeah. Well, when I was living in Georgia, man, we didn't I didn't even see a police car. It said that it wasn't labeled equality police. I've never heard of that up until like just you mentioning it on the show now. Like equality police, like what was the meaning behind that? Did they have to do that to basically show the general public there in Madison, Wisconsin that that they do support the rainbow community and they're not gonna be biased towards the LGBTQ plus community? Is that the true reason behind it?
So the reason behind it is because we have a mayor that identifies she's a lesbian. She identifies I don't know. She said she's a transgender lesbian.
She's a transvestite. We used to call them transvestites back in the 80s and 90s, early 90s.
So what happened is that, and then not only that, but we also have our governor, and our governor, for the first time ever, he's like, well, as a leading state, we're going to replace all the American flags during the month of June, and we're going to replace it, and we're going to replace it off of our police cars and put like the rainbow flag. So in the whole month of June, you won't see one American flag at a police station in Madison or either at the Capitol, because if you're and in 2018, our governor made the news all over CNN and stuff. It was like all over, where the first time ever state capitol has had the American flag at the state capitol was replaced with the LGBTQ flag and a Black Lives Matter flag. That was the first time ever. Yes, in Madison, Wisconsin. That's why we made national news.
What?
Then,
oh my God.
And then California sued it afterwards. So then that's where the equality police came in, because Governor Evers like, oh, I like that idea, and we don't want people being suppressed. And so in 2020, it really launched off, where the police officers in 2020 they just kept on the flags, and so then they would make sure that they would respond to police if there was any police brutality and stuff.
Let's break it down, folks. Right? You know, you had a fender bender there in Madison, near where Sauce lives here. You have an issue. You get into a fender bender. You hit the guy's rear end of the car. All of a sudden the guy comes out. He happens to be a transgender or a transvestite or a homosexual person or something.
Or an alphabet person.
Whatever. Unfiltered. Yeah, definitely. He comes out, he starts shouting to the heavens, "Oh my God, you hit my car. You hit my car." You don't see regular police coming, folks. In the next 10, possibly 15 minutes, depending on the time of the day it is, right?
Yep.
You won't see police on the side of the car. You'll actually see equality police show up. And they have their rainbow flag. And then, are their uniforms, Sauce? Do they have rainbow colors on the uniforms too, or is it a regular uniform?
No, so it's a different kind of uniform. They don't have the American flag on their flag. On their uniform, they have a rainbow flag, and they have a transgender flag and like every other flag you can imagine. But like it's like on their left arm.
So no, I'm saying so that's the only type of pride type of symbol they have on their uniform. Like their uniform is not actually like full of rainbows or nothing like that, is it?
No, but they don't carry any weapons.
They don't carry any weapons. What if the guy that was a transgender or a homosexual or something comes out with a taser or something, or comes actually out with an actual gun and goes to shoot the damn cop, and the cop's like, "Oh, I can't carry a weapon."
Well, here's a piece of candy. Don't shoot me, okay?
Oh my God!
And this is why.
Wait, they don't have guns. What do they have? Do they have squirt guns or something? Is it like little water guns or something?
No, what they're trained to do and stuff. They're trained to talk to the individual, talk him down from. They're trained to talk to them and to like make sure that they don't get agitated. That's what they're trained to do.
God.
And you wonder why. And you wonder why Madison has so many shootings. You wonder why criminals are like going all over the place.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I don't mean to laugh, but
go for it. Laugh away.
This episode is just comical and hilarious. I mean, I'm hearing for the first time, guys, and I am. I'm not making this up. I'm not doing it for like viewpoints or talking points here, even on this podcast, because I'm not that type of host. And Sauce knows that by now. This is the first time that I'm actually hearing this from Sauce here on the show. He resides in a state that has an actual police force that actually has a department in their police force called equality police. I mean, they don't carry guns. Do they at least carry like billitards? The little billy clubs. Do they carry them?
No, because that's that according to them, according to the mayor, if they that can cause like agitation, that can cause a person to have PTSD. So they don't carry handcuffs. They don't carry anything. So they're pretty much your like security. And you wonder why. And here's the whole thing. You know how you solve the problem? You wonder why people are like going all over it. I'm like, maybe I should be like that person so I could get off the hook, And so what happens at a store in Madison, perfect example, a store in Madison got robbed by transgender people. So then the equality police showed up. And so then what happened was that the store manager, he's like, well, they stole about $700 worth of items. Are you guys going to do anything? They're like, well, it doesn't meet our quote. It doesn't meet the quota of they're like, as long as they robbed under $1,000 worth of items, we cannot.
As long as they robbed under $1,000.
Yeah, then they won't do anything.
Oh my goodness gracious!
Yeah, and that's actually the whole city of Madison.
Well, here's my last closing here, Sauce, because we're gonna keep it about a little under 20 minutes here. Okay. I keep these little bonus episodes right about 20 minutes. Here's the thing. All right, now we all know that like 60 to 70% of our road rage in America is due to mental illness. It is. I mean, you don't see a person that shows a healthy sanity level, committing these heinous crimes or this erratic behavior. You don't. It doesn't. The formula in the brain, it doesn't work that way. It's usually caused, like I said, 60 to 70% of our road rage in America is caused through mental illness. So, with mental illness being the way it is, and usually affects people of homosexuality or people that are maybe transvestites or whatever. Okay, I don't say transgender; it's a transvestite. It's plain and simple. It's a man that's really a woman that's really a man. That's basically what it is. Anyway, so if it's that case, right, and we have the mental illness that eradicates in this type of culture in America, why wouldn't this type of pride police, equality police, whatever the hell you want to call them, why are they not equipped with the correct equipment, right? Like billy clubs, guns, handcuffs. Like if they have to, you told me because it's going to cause them to erupt, right? But what if they do erupt? How would they detain them at that scene? Like when a cop pulls you over, a regular cop, we're not talking about a pride cop. We're not talking about equality cop. None of that bullshit, guys. We're talking about a regular cop. When a regular cop pulls you over, right?
Yep.
They have to go through a procedure. They have to detain you, investigate the situation, and then they go from there and see if they have a case. If there's no case building up and there's nothing, that if they don't have anything on you, meaning that there's no ground on that case, they let you go and they say you're free to go and you go about your business and there's no charges being filed against you. Okay. Yep. But we're going back and you about another minute here, 2 minutes, Sauce, if you can keep it at that. Where do they go from there? How do they detain these people? Do they put them in the car to let them cool down and let them have their medication and have a fruity tooty banana smoothie or something? Or like, what do they do?
So they actually do not detain them because Madison is in the process of dismantling the jail systems. And they're in the process of closing the thing. So what they're about is that they're about giving opportunities for people like, oh, you know what? I robbed a bank. Oh, whoops. Let's give you, hey, we're going to give you an opportunity to not make it again. So we're not going to detain you. Or, you know what? You almost killed somebody with a bat because you're in a road rage. We're just going to give you like a minor citation, and this whole thing. And the cause of this push and the cause of these road rage, it's because of our bureaucratic systems that push these people to call them.
That's what it boils down to, I guess. Then, yeah.
It's all these. It's our local politicians that cause. It's our local politicians that are fueling this kind of hatred and this kind of insecurity about themselves, and even mental illness, stating that, well, it's okay you have mental illness. That means, you know what? If you have mental illness, you don't have to take your medication. You don't have to do that. So if you get into road rage, you're okay, because you're not perfect. None of us are perfect. Wow,
And,
it's really sick.
Yeah, and, just in closing, man, like, how does it fix anything? It doesn't fix a damn thing. We're still going to have the same type of road rage with our mental illness in the country. It's just going to get worse and worse. People are like, oh, is it going to get better? No, it's not going to get better when you have, nut job local authority departments such as police officers that introduce this type of new department, this new type of pride police, equality police, whatever the hell you want to call them. It doesn't fix the situation. It just makes the situation a lot worse. We're still going to have the same road rage. We're going to have more mental illness. We're going to have more road rage. We're going to have more problems, folks. It's not going to fix a damn thing. Guys, thank you very much for tuning into this episode. If you like this episode, you want to hear more, hit that follow button on Spotify, anywhere you hear us on a podcast. And remember, guys, you can check us out usually on a 5 to 6 day period. Sometimes we do the full 7, depending on week. Guys, my name is Michael Gardner. This is Scott Temison from his show. Remember, God loves you, and I'll meet you at the finish line. Thanks for tuning in, guys, and we will see you tomorrow, a episode of 301, and that will be literally a really good episode. And then episode 302 with myself, Robert Ralph, Jimmy the Rant, Soslin, and Joseph M. Leonard, the author of Terror Strikes, joining us on that panel on Tuesday. It's going to be a really, really good, interesting episode. Thanks very much, guys, and we'll see you tomorrow.